I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Well, thank everybody for coming, and we'll go along and with approval of the agenda.
I'm not ready. So moved. How's that?
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion's approved. Approval of minutes.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Approval of claims for payment.
Make that motion to approve the claims for payment.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Number 6 is Jeff Recius is here today with a proclamation for Lyme Disease Awareness Month. Go ahead, Jeff, turn it over to you.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody, most of you probably know me, Jeff Ricius, Steamboat Rock. I've worked for Hardin County for about 9.5 years, and I've been mayor over at Steamboat, come back on the council, and I've been in business for 20 years. So, with a little bit of that, I want to kind of talk a little bit about Lyme disease. Lyme disease is affecting 300,000 people a year, as reported by the CDC. And the CDC stands for the Center of Disease Control. There are many people who have had this for years. And the reason that this is starting to get a little more attention, sorry to say, is because people in certain professions, doctors have had it. I read one of the books by Dr. Singleton. He was one of the pioneers in this. He had to do his own research and to figure out how to treat this. And after he figured that out, why he decided that seen the need to help other people. So these are some of the ways that this is getting out. Daryl Hall, a celebrity, has had it and still is fighting it. Debbie Gibson just come out recently, and who's the other one here?
Yolanda Foster.
Yolanda Foster. This is how this disease is getting out into the public. A lot of the doctors are kind of naive to this because it's something that, unless it is actually causing a lot of havoc in certain communities, is people aren't aware of it, including doctors. And that's why I'm here wanting you to sign the proclamation for Lyme Disease Awareness Month in May. And I have some extra brochures that I'll leave with you folks to take a look at. The Midwest is beginning to show that there are many cases here, and so we want our county to, in the area, to be aware of this. I'm having kind of an episode. I had kind of a bad night last night with this, so kind of bear with me, I'm sorry. There are many people who have Lyme disease, which are being misdiagnosed. This disease mimics other diseases: chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, rheumatoid arthritis, Parkinson's, multiple sclerosis, dementia, and Alzheimer's. I was diagnosed with 3 of these before I was diagnosed with Lyme. I was diagnosed with chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, and rheumatoid arthritis. If it hadn't been for my own research, I would still be misdiagnosed. I got so bad this winter, or last fall, that I actually had to shut down. I had to make a business decision to release my employees. My health was number one on the list that had to be fixed to continue to do what I love. And it was through our research that we figured out a lab where to take the tests, and we found a doctor here in Iowa that doesn't have a lot of experience, but the reason that she has been treating this is because she had an employee that they couldn't figure out what was wrong with her, and she'd worked for her for 20 years. So she actually went out east and worked with some Lyme doctors where it's more prevalent. It's been around for over 30 years out there, and it's coming back. And going up there, she's overworked. The medical profession in this 15-minute slot time is not enough time to properly go over the symptoms and see how a person is feeling. That's why I think here in Hardin County, my wife and I are going to start a Lyme awareness program. We're going to start it May 23rd down at the Steamboat Rock Boat Club at 7 p.m. So if anybody here would like some more information, you're more than welcome to attend. We'll be putting up some flyers, and we'll be getting it in the paper. I mean, it's just not me I'm concerned about, it's the kids. As an adult, I can't tell you exactly how long I've had this. I know 13 years ago is when my symptoms started, and I've been seeking medical attention for the last 13 years, and it's got me nowhere. And to have a young kid that can't communicate like we can, that could possibly have this is something that I don't want people to be afraid of. I'm still going to hunt mushrooms and enjoy the wilderness like I do, but we just need to be aware, because if it's detected early enough, 90 to 120 days of treatment a lot of times knocks it out pretty good to where our body will, our own defense system will a lot of times take care of it and finish eradicating it. So that's kind of our purpose, and we're looking for your support. One other concern I had when I first got diagnosed here, and when the test came back positive in February, of course my test had to be turned into the state. I mean, I'm a statistic with it. And of course the county had to call me. But I had suspected this for years, but never got the diagnosis. And when the diagnosis came back, I made a call to Greenbelt Healthcare to, I know because of HIPAA that certain things can't be released. But what I was looking for was statistics, you know. I mean, are they treating people? Are they seeing that this is becoming a little more prevalent? I never got a call back. And this concerns me a little bit, because with the nature of this being so hard to detect, the more information that you have, the easier it is to go and show that we do have a problem, so that we can either bring in a doctor into the area that can help the people in our communities, so that you don't have to travel to Missouri, Wisconsin. I mean, there just is very little help here in this state. And with Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Missouri starting to have epidemic areas, we all travel, we all have family. A lot of them are still in the Midwest. So when we go to other states that are epidemic, we can bring it back. This tick is so small, and that's really all I had to say. I'll leave these brochures for you to look at your own time. Oh, Yeah, and you probably do know that, I just wanted to bring it back to your attention that did have an employee here at Hardin County that worked with Wes that did get Lyme disease, and he was actually bitten by a tick there at Sac and Fox, just north of Steamboat. So it is here. So I just want you to be aware of it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jeff, you mentioned, in one of our conversations one time, it was easy to get a blood test taken. It was for $100, I believe is what you said.
$200.
$200 to have a test taken.
Yes. But you still have to go to a doctor. As long as you don't turn it into insurance, you can, if you stress your concerns, say that you have some of the symptoms, they should grant you what you want to be tested. But if you're going to turn it into insurance, they have to. You have to have some. You got to meet some of the criteria. And when you go in to get, the doctors out east have came up with kind of a checklist of different symptoms of either headaches, fatigue, muscle aches, joints, numerous things that go along with this disease, and you have to kind of meet some of those criteria for a doctor to do it. But I mean, as long as you pay it out of pocket, I don't think that they can refuse. I mean, we're in. Look at the deer population. Deer outnumber cattle in Hardin County. I mean, look at our corridor. I mean, the Iowa River runs through here. I got the pond at Steamboat. We got Pine Lake State Park. I mean, look at the people here, and I know a handful of people in Hardin County right now that do have it, and so I'm looking for more information to bring to people. I just want to know how severe or rapidly, and like I said, with these other diseases, it's mimicking. How many people are getting misdiagnosed?
Yeah.
And I can tell you from experience of being on the wrong medications makes this worse.
Well, just to acknowledge what you've been saying, Jeff, I've got a couple of high school friends who had a child that picked up Lyme disease, but he was misdiagnosed for years. He was on a football scholarship to go to college, and you can imagine with your symptoms how that all went.
Sure.
So he's now trying to recover and before he goes back to college and tries to pick up where he left off. But you know how hard it is to struggle through some of the symptoms they have. So and the trick here, which makes it, his mom's a doctor. And finally, she did enough research that she argued with the other doctors that were misdiagnosing him, and then finally they came up with Lyme disease.
And
so
that's the point that I'm trying to get. I'm not here to scare anybody. I'm here to collect the information,
Yeah.
and and it's going to be. I mean, as this thing progresses and time goes on. It's going to be just as prevalent as diabetes, cancer, or it could surpass. I mean, they suspect that here, possibly by the end of the year, that it will surpass HIV. And, and the other thing that they do know is, the other thing that's really important about this is that Lyme bacteria can be transmitted between mother and newborn child, either through the placenta or through breast milk. And what the CDC is not saying, which could cause a scare, is that they don't know whether Lyme disease is transmitted sexually or by saliva. So I just had my wife just got tested here a little bit ago, and like I said, we're going to see, what statistics are correct and what aren't, and take the precautions so that somebody has to step up to the plate and do it. And so we decided to take on this challenge.
thanks,
Thank
Jeff.
you.
Thanks.
If I may, there's a bookmark in the information there. that gives you the IGenics lab from Palo Alto, California that you send your blood work to. That's where he was tested at. It's one of the most prevalent places to get a test
Okay,
taken care of.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Do I hear a motion on this for the proclamation of Lyme Disease Awareness Month of using May?
I'll make a motion to approve the proclamation Lyme Disease Awareness Month.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Just amazed, you know, if your family doesn't have something, you know, and you're not in on it at that ground level, you just hear about it on TV. And I was under the assumption of completely wrong of what was just said, you know, and it's just, you know, when you hear the story at ground level like that, you just really get your heart goes out to, you thought it was in a different place than it really is. So your heart really goes out to families that have this and that there's stuff being done about it. But I was just under the assumption it was just go and have a test, you get a shot, and you know, they finally got a handle on it. And then you hear a story like this that, wow, we really need to be a lot more aware of what's going on with this, and really appreciate him coming in and making us aware of that, because I was at a different place with it, so it really was educational for me here today.
I guess to be on the side of the doctors with misdiagnosis, the symptoms do really mimic other diseases, so it's really hard to diagnose, and that's the struggle.
I think I have half those now. It's like, wow, that's something. So yeah.
I see Shannon's here. I want you to go through this if you would before we leave. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries. Next, we have a change of status at the engineer's office. We have one guy retiring and another guy stepping into his position. The retirement won't take place until
Physically, he's done, but his through vacation and all the
April, or
August.
August 13th.
And I've posted a position internally, according to the handbook, for his replacement. Right.
Okay. So the person retiring is Jeff Spiker?
Yes.
Yep.
And Shane Shashow. Say that fast 3 times.
Well, you know, before we came down here, I was asking
Tried.
that last name, exactly how that was.
No wonder you get stopped for drunk driving all the time, huh?
I will make a motion to accept Jeff's retirement.
It's been moved
And seconded.
and seconded. Any discussion?
Just would like to thank him, I guess personally thank him for all the years of service, and I'm sure we're all thinking the same thing. He's done a great job for Hardin County, and sorry I couldn't make his retirement party. I was down at Des Moines to the Capitol for that presentation down there, but I hated to miss that. But he's really been an asset out there for you, so I'm sure he'll be missed.
Yes.
I ditto on the party. I had meetings all afternoon, so, but wish him luck for us.
Mhm.
Well,
He's still here. I'll still see him. I stopped in earlier. I had meetings too. So, any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries. Next we have is Shane Sasho.
he's the new shop foreman now.
Go ahead.
I will
Say it
make
3
that
times.
motion to accept Shane as the new position or promotion for the new shop foreman. And congratulations to him. I know I've worked with him already, and looks like he's going to be a really good fit for you.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? We're losing him on the tree shredding crew. Putting him in the shop, aren't we?
Yes. He was a whole operator.
Yep, he was a good operator there.
Mm-hmm.
He can take care of any old power pole there is.
Well, just a little bit that I worked with him so far this last couple of weeks. I mean, he seems like a go-getter and willing to do anything, and make anything, and I mean, that's a good person
Good
for that
attitude.
position. Yes, it is.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Next on the agenda, we have discussion, action, proposal of the ING on additional life insurance.
No, product.
Notice I didn't say it. Product. And Jessica brought this to us, was it last week or 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago, and we tabled it to see if there were any interesting parties that thought they could bring to the table, or we could find any. And from there, I'll just go ahead and wait for a motion.
So they pay in cabbage and lettuce.
Eggs.
Eggs.
Yes.
Looks like
Milk.
it.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Good one,
different.
Nancy.
Thanks.
It's different.
I did talk to a few other insurance companies, and I mean, what Jessica has given us is, I guess in my mind, the best deal for Hardin County. I mean, it makes her life easy and easier, and money-wise, it wasn't a big difference. So I was comfortable with that.
Good. I'll make the motion to approve the proposal with ING on an additional life insurance product.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? I think it does work well with the county going through this product. It's easier for your bookkeeping and things like that. And if I remember right, it was a cost savings
Yeah.
also. Any other discussion?
Other than I'm going to keep this agenda forever.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Discussion action regarding hiring Paul Groof for handbook review. Paul Groof is a person that did our union negotiations for us with the sheriffs, and he also brings some other things to the table, and this is one of them. We got different options he's given us. One of the options he's given us was, let me get my right page up here. $2,500 to do a handbook, or for $1,500 a month for 3 months, he would do the handbook and provide services as well. And this would include a proactive approach on tackling a number of HR issues, if acceptable. If we could do a monthly contract isn't locked into annual contract, so you can decide month to month if you would prefer to switch to a $300 a month, which that would be you can just call him on the phone instead of him actually being here for HR questions. But he would take a 3-month contract to do the handbook, or $2,500 or $2,500 to just do the handbook with no HR. Did I spell that out pretty clear, I guess?
Yeah, you did fine.
Okay.
The way I look at it, over the years, we've had many add-ons and changes, and it'd be a little more reader-friendly if we cleaned it up just a bit for our employees. I think we're at 88 pages right now, so if we could make it more readable, that would be good. I'm leaning more towards the 3-month. It rolls in over the fiscal years then. It's 2 fiscal years, so we can look at that, maybe talk about that just a bit. Also, that would give him time to have conversations with department heads as well as our handbook committee. And I think the 3-month time period is where I'm leaning right now, just for better communication aspect of it. So, but I'm open to discussion.
Well, this is something that's been a huge issue, I think, from day one when I walked in the door here. HR work and handbook work. But, you know, we've had a handbook committee in place, and they've done a fantastic job. hiring an HR person for your county is very expensive. And that's kind of kept us at bay because we just didn't have that money laying around to hire that type of a wage. And I know Lance and I and Ron, when he's come on, it's just been something that's been there at us the whole time, and we've been looking for that right person and the right fit for the county, and working with our auditor's office, and we've come across Paul, and so far, Paul's impressed us, you know, at least he's impressed me a lot with how he's handled the contract and what he has before us. You know, we're not locked into 3 or 4 or 5 years, or just, he'll go month by month or anything. Lance, I know Lance has checked into with our lawyer with our insurance, so we've got 2 double checks going on here. That I think it's a really good fit, and I think I'd be probably with Ron on this too, is hiring him for 3 months. And I just wanted to ask Jessica if that's $1,500 a month, and that's going to take us over
Through July.
through July, so the last payment would be in July, and we don't have this budgeted, you know, or, you know, come out of an expense. I know you said we could probably find a couple $1,000s, but if we set it up over this 3 months, is that something that you see that we could do? Or do you need some time to take a look at this before we make this decision?
Well, would he be here for the whole month of May? Or would June really realistically be your first month?
We'd have to check with him on his schedule.
Right.
At least I
'cause
haven't
you're-
answered that question to you.
We haven't got a start date now.
Yeah. I think it's fine.
Okay.
I told you before, I'm pretty sure I can find a couple thousand.
Mhm.
I wouldn't go much more than that. And you're talking the difference of 1,500 if he just does June, or 3,000 if he does May and June, and then the next year, so.
Mhm. I just think it's $2,500 just to do the book, and I think we have so many questions from our department heads that he could clear up in those 3 months for us, and then hopefully it could just maybe drop to that $300 a month, and department heads would have that camaraderie with him. They could call, you know, you could just pick up the phone or call him and say, hey, what do I do with this? But with the laws and everything changing on us, I mean, we have to have something in place better than what we've had in the
There is
past.
stuff budgeted in your budget that you haven't spent that I
Okay.
think it's doable, it'll be fine.
Okay.
One thing with the insurance company is that he provides insurance. They ask that he provides insurance for himself for the information he's giving as HR.
HR liability insurance.
Yes.
Liability.
And that was the only question they really were concerned about on that.
And Lance, you haven't talked to him about that?
No, I have
Paul,
not.
on that, okay.
No, I have not.
Okay. Well, I would go ahead and make the motion then that we hire Paul for the 3 months at the $1,500 a month. And in making sure that he does have the liability insurance. If he doesn't, then we would not proceed. We'd bring that back to the board and discuss it further.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Yes.
I do have a question. In his revision of the handbook committee or the handbook, is the handbook committee going to
He
have
does.
any?
Yeah, he does have this in here where he would be on site to meet with the department head elected official team for probably 2 to 3 hour meetings to review handbook and revise together as a team.
Okay.
I forgot to read that part,
That
I'm
was
sorry.
just my biggest concern because you've got people that have spent years on the committee and, you know, working on the book and issues, you know, that were
Mhm.
out there. It'd just be nice that the communication would be open
Mhm.
in that means.
I agree. I mean, and he's such a. I've been around him. He has a nice way of explaining things. So, and we want the more we have in on the meetings, the more the education we'll get throughout the whole county, and we need that, you know, so you get that comfort level. So, yeah, he's definitely wants as much input as.
Great.
He's worked with many counties, but as you know, every county is its own and has its own needs. So, yeah, I think that he needs to work with us, so, yep.
He gave a couple of free services just as he was waiting for unions with us. That was really impressive. One with the insurance company asking questions that we would have no clue what to even ask. And he really, I mean, he knows where to find these, and he really helped out a lot.
Oh, that's great.
And he clarified a lot.
Well, and that's his job. I mean,
Yeah.
none of us on that handbook committee are professionals at doing that situation, so bringing in somebody that does have the education on it will be good.
Mhm. And like I say, we're moving forward with him, I think cautiously and double checking everything that he's telling us, backing it up with our insurance company. So just don't want to turn anybody loose on these type of situations. And if we hired our own person, you still have to have that double check, because it just, in that world, it changes so fast that check and double check is critical. So I think it'll be a big support to our department heads. I really do. So.
And we've had a couple meetings with other people to discuss our handbook and stuff, so.
Mm-hmm.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Application for a liquor license. Iowa Falls Loyal Order of the Moose.
It's kind of your specialties, isn't it?
I don't have any one-liners this
After
time,
the
sorry.
friendly fairways.
I'll make a motion to approve the application for liquor license for Iowa Falls Loyal Order of Moose, 1331.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. We have another one for Circle C Rodeo.
I'll make a motion to approve the application for liquor license for Circle C Rodeo.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. Oh, we need to set a date and time to open bids for an F-150 pickup. This is a pickup that the grounds has, our janitor has. It's a 150. They're bringing in at sealed bids. And the reason for doing this is with the government discounts we get on pickups and the miles he puts on this pickup, I think we could pretty much trade for almost even money, and we need to just find out if we can. We're at a very low cost.
Is next week will be okay, as far as you know?
Yep.
Okay.
And these are the open bids from the dealerships within our
From the
town.
dealerships, yes.
I'll go ahead and set next week at 10:05 for bid opening. Next Wednesday's meeting, May 7th, is that what it is?
I
Okay.
think so, yeah.
All right. I'll make that motion.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
10:05, yeah. For our produce meeting.
And next, we got an application for the courthouse grounds. This is from the Eldora Fire Rescue. They were here last year, and it's their fundraiser, grilled pork burgers, and conduct drawings for raffle prizes.
Jody's not in the room, but.
I have talked to Jody.
Okay,
He has no
good.
problem with it. He said they were very clean and neat, and they stayed off the grass, and they were
Yeah.
very respectful
Great.
to everything.
Kept the pony rides off the grass.
Jody takes care of the grounds, that's for sure. So, yeah, I'll make that motion to go ahead and grant that for use of the courthouse grounds for July 26th.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? I think it's great that they do this, and they have this in conjunction with Pine Lake Festival going on as well.
Okay.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Utility permit secondary roads. You had none for me today.
Nope, no utility permits today.
And then review and approval of truck purchase secondary roads department.
I got a quote for a tandem truck for the next fiscal year, but if we ordered it this week, the chassis wouldn't get here till late July, and then it goes to the bodybuilder. So if we ordered this week, we'd be looking October, late October delivery.
Delivery to Hardin County? Or just, okay. That's with the snowplow and
Yeah.
complete in
Complete.
October, okay.
The chassis itself, late July, then it goes to the bodybuilder, box, wing, plow. So we're looking at October, so hopefully before the snow flies.
This is a Volvo truck. This is the third one we'll be getting.
Yes.
And we've had really good luck with the one, with Volvos.
The last two, they sold them to us for $112,741, and his quote here is $113,886. So there's a few little minor differences.
How much of an increase on that is pretty nice to see.
Yeah.
That'll be set up to pull a pup and everything, just like,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah,
Sure, it's nice to see him leave the quarry with a pup on the back.
Yeah, dude's he just got the latest Volvo, and he's been ribbing me about where's that pup at? Not
Mhm.
built yet.
Or you just almost double your productivity
Yeah, he
for the
feels
same
like-
amount of money. It's like, it's such a no-brainer to, get set up like this. So it's really helping out our road crew and saving us some money out there, so.
Are you asking, okay, we need the approval of the truck purchase.
Yes.
Okay. Do I hear that motion?
We've already discussed this in meetings and lined it up with your budget, and I'll make the motion to approve the truck purchase.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Other business out there.
I do have a hospital update for you. We are moved into Hanson Family Hospital, open for business. The move went very, very well, very smooth. Moved our patients over on Sunday morning. We had 5. And with the help of Eldora EMS and several others in the community, they helped us through that process. It went very well. We've had our first baby born and are doing surgeries, and specialists are coming in. So we're moving ahead and everything's going very well. I'd say we're probably about 70% with things like technology and phones, and that's to be expected because a lot of that couldn't be pulled over to the last minute when we brought patients over. So everything's going well, and just wanted to thank you again for all of your support in making this possible for Hardin County, and also former Supervisor Jim Johnson for his work as well. And just thanks again. It's been a great project, and we're very excited for the future of healthcare in Hardin County.
So when you're saying, when you call and you say this line is no longer in business.
What's that?
So if you call and they say this phone line is no longer in business, are you getting those? You said phones are 70%.
Well, we're to the point of all the lines have been moved over. It's things like setting up speed dials and which ones need to be with dictation on them, and we've got a couple of fax lines that are still integrated with other devices, and so it's those kind of things. So they've got workarounds in terms of working with other departments to make the printers and faxes, operate the way that they need to for patient care. But to getting every single device up and running, that's where we're about 70%. So.
Okay, well, thank you.
Yeah.
I've been watching the transition now for a couple of weeks, and I'm surprised how smooth it did go.
Yeah.
So, and there's always going to be bugs, but you've done a great job. So.
Thank you very much.
Thinking of bugs, don't
Is the
forget
parking
about
lot
this.
big enough?
The parking lot is big enough.
Wow, I drove by there yesterday and that whole parking lot was
full.
almost full. I'm
It was a
going,
busy
holy
day
cow.
yesterday. Yep.
I was there on Monday, it's very nice.
Yeah.
So, did they hire new people? Because it seemed like everywhere I went, it was people I'd never encountered before.
Well, I think it's just because we're all on one level, and we've
Okay.
got departments that are close together. And that was, one of the things is getting us away from being siloed departments and working together. And I think that's been a lot of the comments. We're seeing departments that were even maybe segregated amongst themselves that are now in one area and working together in ways that they haven't before. And it's going very well in that regard too, so yeah.
Yeah, the only person I recognized was the doctor, the nurse, and then the greeter at the front door. Otherwise, everybody else looked brand new.
Hmm.
But they must have just been behind walls
Right.
before.
Your patients cooperated with you. Everybody tried to stay healthy for this last week.
Yep, they did a pretty good job
Number
of
of
that.
5
Yep.
patients is a low number for
Yeah.
so.
We want to encourage that, absolutely. We're here if you need us, but until then, stay on top of your wellness exams and tests and all that, and stay healthy.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Shannon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other business? Hearing none, I'll ask for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We're adjourned.